Hello again. Mm, the title of this video will be still about the nice girl, and this is about self-definition. The title of this video, I think, will be having a strong self-definition, having a strong sense of self-definition. Okay, let me leave it at that for now. As I talked about in my previous video, not the one that I just did, the one that I did yesterday. The reason why the nice girl is also overly concerned or overly obsessed with being liked. One of the reasons is because she bought into the belief that other people or the world has created her, the 3D world has created her. In the previous video that I did, I talked about how being a man and being a woman is something that the collective decided on. We decided on what are supposed to be the characteristics and the values and the way a man should, the ways of the behavior and even the beliefs of a man. These were not things that, these are labels, and these were not things that we came with as gods. As gods, we possessed we still do possess all the energies. We're able to vibrate whatever characteristic or whatever characteristic or whatever value, I would call it, we choose to vibrate on. But when we came down to this 3D earth, we decided to label what a man is, and we also decided to label what a woman is. And these things have changed over time and over the years. But some of the basic things still remain. You know, what a man should do and how a man should act like, and what kind of job a man should hold, and the same thing for a woman. What kind of job a woman should hold, how she should act, how she should talk, what she should say, what her role is in society. All of these things were decided before most of us arrived here, or before almost all of us arrived here. Arrived on this 3D realm, I mean. And when we appeared on the 3D consciousness realm, we acquiesced to that. We acquiesced to these definitions. And as we came from being babies to growing up to being toddlers to being a teenager to growing up to being an adult, we adopted all of these characteristics based on the gender or the sex that we are. And this is just one area, actually. This is just the area of sex and gender. But in all other areas, the collective decided what your role is and how you should play out that role. What I'm talking about is, it's not just your sex and your gender that was assigned certain characteristics and certain labels and certain rules and behaviors, but also in the realm of it's all related to your sex and your gender anyway. In the realm of here, maybe let's say education or work, what you're supposed to do as a career. You know, the collective has this unconscious uh, agreement or stipulation as to how we are supposed to get things. Like you're supposed to go through certain steps before you can get so and so thing. It's not true. These are all illusions. But this is what the collective has decided, has stipulated, and these vary from region to region. But some of the things that we have decided on and that we have stipulated are still very are across the board. For instance, let's say in the realm of making money, it is highly believed and highly accepted or acceptable, or even it's acceptable or expected that a person must work hard. This is what the general, or yeah, let me say general, the general consensus is, even though this is it's an unconscious belief, but this is the general belief, or the general consensus, is that you're supposed to work hard to get money, especially if it's a large amount of money. The collective has decided that, if you can't just not do anything and get a large amount of money, and if you do, there are ways in which you will be checked or get a slap on the wrist, or even if that's just people frowning at you or people being jealous or whatever. But what I'm trying to say is that the collective has made certain stipulations around every area in life as to how we are supposed to live. And these stipulations were made before we arrived in this collective realm, on this 3D collective realm. Even though we all participated in this, we have amnesia. We've forgotten about the time when we were gods, when we were in the spiritual realm, in the non-physical realm. And this is the reason why we did this, is to create an environment of contrast, to create an environment of friction, where when we appear on the physical 3D realm, we have something to give us a challenge. We have, imagine if everything was easy, if there was no friction at all, if there was nothing to stop us, or not stop us, if there was nothing to challenge us when we came down here to this 3D earth, then it would be as if the realm that we came from, and there would have been no point. The reason why we came down to this 3D earth is to slow down the process of creation, so that we could watch the unfolding of it. And we had to create friction. We had to create an environment of contrast. And all the other things that I mentioned, and to create an environment where there's time and space, fear and shame, all these things to slow down the process of creation. And so, yeah, these stipulations that the collective also decided on, most of them, especially in the realm of sex and gender, and in other realms, are also part of the things that create challenges for us, because now we have to transcend those things, because what the collective says, as in how it should be, is not how it should be, because everyone's path is singular. Everyone's path is singular, and we learn through our own experiences. But before I go, off to talk about something else, this video is about self-definition. This is why the nice girl, especially, who bought into most of these illusions much more than anybody else, has to have a very strong sense of self-definition. And what I mean by this is the nice girl has to learn how to, you have to learn how to define who you are out with the world. And I know it's difficult. This is difficult and it's challenging because we have been indoctrinated from from birth, that being a woman means this and that, and it means that this is what you do. Being a man means this and that, and to individuate, to go against the grain, to say no, this is what I want to do. This is how I see myself, and I'm not going to agree with what they say a woman should be like. I'm not gonna talk like that. I'm not gonna walk like that. I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna dress like that. It's challenging. It's challenging, and yeah, it's challenging to do that at the first point, at the first instant, and it's especially challenging for. It's especially more challenging to back, you know, time after time after time, because again, the collective is gonna have some issues with it. So then it has to become your job to back yourself and say, no, I don't care what people think about me, and I don't care how people see me. I define myself. This is how I see myself. It has nothing to do with me being a woman or being a girl. This is what I believe in, and this is how I'm going to be. I don't care how other women look like, or what other women are doing, um, or what they are not doing. This is what I want to do. This is something that speaks to me from my soul, and it doesn't matter what people say or what other people are doing. I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna do it this way. This is one of the ways in which, and the nice girl, you watching me, can get out of the clasp of fearing rejection, because you fear rejection because you're overly concerned about how being liked, and also you're overly concerned about how people see you. You value how other people see you much more than you value how you see yourself. When you develop this inner mindset of, I'm going to define myself, and I'm going to define how I live in this life, and I don't care whether this way has never existed, and or no one else does it this way, or it's even frowned upon. This is what I feel like doing. When to get to that mindset, like I said, it's challenging, but this is one of the ways in which you can get out of the class of rejection. Because when you have a different value, when you have a different definition of who you are, and you stand by it, regardless of what people think, and you appreciate it, you acknowledge it, you take pride in it, what other people think about you just falls by the wayside, because now it doesn't matter again, because you've defined yourself, you've defined who you're going to be, and you've defined you've defined who you're going to be, and you've made that the highest, you've given that the highest value. So because you've given that the highest value, there's no other definition that can usurp it. And so when you are dealing with people, and let's say, for instance, you want to ask someone for a favor, but you're scared that they're going to see you in a certain way. I'm actually going through this right now. As a friend that I want to ask for a certain favor, but I'm like thinking, maybe that's too much, it's too much to ask him to do all this. Because, and I had to think about the root of where that came from. And I went all the way to rejection, but it's more than rejection. It's because I'm overly concerned about how he sees me. Why do I have to be concerned about how he sees me? Why do I have to give him that power to define me? Why do I have to, yeah, why do I have to give him that power to define me? I define myself. He he cannot define me because first of all, he's not me, and he does not have a stake in my life. So the concern about other people seeing you a certain way, it comes back to self-judgment too. It comes back to not accepting who you are. And that's also where self-definition comes. And backing who you are, um, regardless of what relationship you might find yourself in. And when I say relationship, I don't just mean a romantic relationship. I mean all kinds of relationships. Yeah, the having the strength and the strength of self definition, and the power, yeah, the power of defining yourself and backing your definition, your self definition, regardless of what society has defined what a woman should be like, or what a woman shouldn't be like. It's a powerful thing. When you define yourself, you have power over yourself. You have power over your, yeah, over your being, because now you're walking by a different set of rules, and those rules only mean something to you, and nobody can touch you, because you have taken the power of definition back from people. You've taken your power back, and you've defined yourself. So yeah, you're dancing to the beat of a new drum, of a drum that only you've designed, you've defined, and nothing else matters. Nobody else's definition matters, and nobody else's definition can even affect you in any way. Um, and yeah, this is one of the things that the nice girl has to really learn. I was thinking of how to what can be done. What can a nice girl do to get this strong sense of self-definition? I think one of the ways in which a nice girl can do that is to look at your life and see what are the things that you like to do, and how do you like to do things, and be comfortable doing things like that, regardless of how other people are doing it. You know, just start with one aspect of your life. Start with one area, and then once you've mastered that area, then you can go to the next one. And it um, it will not come without challenges, because sometimes you can have a strong sense of self-definition, and then you start doing things your own way, and then because it's a learning process. You're gonna experience ups and downs, but that's just part of it. But there is a certain pride in experiencing ups and downs with something that is yours, because yeah, I might experience ups and downs, but they are mine. They're my successes, and they're my failures. I choose to do this thing my way, and if I fail, to try again later, or if I succeed, then it's my way. You know, it's my way. It's not. At least it's my way. It's not. It's I didn't adopt somebody else's way. So yeah, I think it's to start there. Yeah, start with one aspect, and just have the knowing that you have the right to define yourself. You don't have to You don't have to be like other people are. You don't have to do things the way other people do them. You don't have to look for money. Let's say the area is money. You don't have to look for money the way other people do them, the way other people look for money. If other people want to work hard to get money, then and you don't want to do that, then find a way that's easy for you. And let other people frown and look down their nose at you. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because it's your way. We have the right to define ourselves. And this goes back to the Adam and Eve story, but at the Adam story maybe in the Bible, where when God created the heavens and the earth and put Adam in the heavens and created all the animals and all that, he gave him the power of naming the animals. The power of naming is a very what's the word that I can use? It's a very, very powerful thing. I know that's not the best word to use. But when you have the power of naming something, in this case, naming yourself and naming who you are and naming how you're going to do things, all that's part of naming. You define your relationship with it, and here in this case, you're defining your relationship with yourself. You're no longer allowing who you are to be defined by other people. You are taking that power back and saying, this is how I'm going to be. I'm not gonna give my essence, who I am, to other people to define for me. This is how I want to be like. And you all can see that this is this is one big thing, that this is why the society, the collective, cannot really allow people to define themselves, because if everyone defines who they are, there's not going to be a collective. This is why we have movies and social media, constantly sending out messages to define what a woman should be like, what a man should be like, what this should be like, how things should be done. All these messages are subconscious messages telling you that this is how you should be like, this is what is acceptable, and this is not acceptable. When you get out of all of that and you decide, no, I see things differently, and this is how I see myself. Now you've arrived. Now you're seeing through the illusion of being defined by other people. When people define you, when people are able to define you, they own you. Yeah. When people define you, they own you, because they have decided their relationship with you, and they've decided your relationship with yourself. So yeah, the power of self-definition is very, very it's potent. It's very, very potent. And this is one of the powers that the nice girl, this is one of the powers that's afforded to the nice girl. It's afforded to everyone, but especially the nice girl, because we're talking about the nice girl here. Yeah, this is one of the ways in which you can take back your power. Define who you are. And it's not gonna not come at a cost. We understand that here. But the freedom that you will begin to experience by sitting squarely in your own definition of yourself is compares to nothing. It compares to nothing, because no one can diminish you again. No one can even affect you. Well, no one can really diminish you in any case, but this, defining yourself out with the society, out with the world, it really does help. And yeah, I think I'm gonna stop this video here, and I'm gonna call it how having a strong sense of self-definition. I'll think about the title. All right, okay, bye-bye, everyone. Have a great evening where you are, and I'll see you tomorrow.